Hello there. This is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? Or should I say, wie geht's? Geht's mir gut, danke. So today we are going to be taking a look at this lonely planet tour guide of Germany. Compared to some of the other tour guides I've got, it's pretty big. It's quite thick. As you'd imagine from such a large country. So in today's ASMR video, meant to help you relax, unwind, maybe even fall asleep. We're going to take a look at Germany using this Lonely Planet tour guide. So, have a flick through the contents. Quite a lot of time is spent on Berlin, one of the places I've seen a couple of times myself. Then there's around Berlin, Hamburg and the north, central Germany, Saxony, Munich, Bavaria, or Bavaria, and that's the end of that then. There's also this nice little bit here, let me show you, plan your trip, welcome to Germany, Germany map, need to know, we'll take a look at that, first time in Germany, month by month, Germany outdoors, travel with children, regions at a glance, etc. When it continues, Stuttgart and the Black Forest, Frankfurt and Southern Rhineland, Cologne and Northern Rhineland, Lower Saxony and Bremen, and then at the end it's called History, German People, Food and Drink, blah blah blah, and then some language bits at the end as well. That's quite cool. I'm going to flick through this, take a look at the nice pictures. I'll read some sections to you as well. So you've got some places that are highlighted. Here's an elevation key. It's got Hamburg, a cosmopolitan port city. I know you're thinking, why is it a port? But there's a river that flows from the coast here, right into Hamburg. Potsdam, glorious parks and palaces. Berlin, the Wall. Brandenburger, tour and amazing nightlife. Then we have Frankfurt, art, architecture and apple cider. Cologne, mighty cathedral, carnival and beer. I've been to Cologne like 8 times. I don't drink beer, it's quite difficult. Trier, German Roman roots and great wine. The romantic Rhine, wine villages and ancient castles. Heidelberg, university town and romantic castle. The Black Forest, magical woods and villages. Schloss Neuschwanstein, the ultimate fairy tale palace. Munich, beer, beauty and Bratwurst. Rothenburg ob der Traube, ob der Taube, medieval magic in a romantic setting. Nuremberg, German history in a nutshell. Bamberg, architectural riverside beauty and balcony beer. Dresden, the ultimate comeback city. Saxon, Switzerland, a beautiful national park for hikers and climbers. Nothing to do with the actual Switzerland, which is all the way down there. I'm not going to focus too much on Berlin in this video. Germany is much more than just Berlin. I'll just let you look at some of the amazing pictures. So we've got a heat map showing warm to hot summers and mild winters, being this part of the country and here. And then warm to hot summers, cold winters, and then mild summers, cold winters and cold climate, apparently in the middle, and right at the bottom, where the Alps are. So the currency is of course the euro, the language is of course German, Deutsch. Visas are generally not required to tourists. For tourist stays up to 90 days, or at all for EU nationals. Some nationalities need a Schengen visa. Credit cards are not widely accepted. What's that mean? Chip and pen is very widely accepted though. I don't think I used euros at all when I went there last year. And then the time is Central European Time +1 from the British GMT. Germany's country code is 49. On the language section, the second question, the second most important thing you should be able to say in German is, which beer would you recommend? But it's so true. Beer is cheaper than water, bottles of water in Germany, just be aware of that. Coca-Cola and water expensive compared to beer. Welches Bier empfehlen Sie? Can I get this without meat? That's tricky in Germany, I'll be honest with you. Kann ich das ohne Fleisch bekommen? Do you speak English? English is very widely and well spoken in Germany. Yeah, shaking hands is a big German thing, particularly between men. So, month by month, we have lots of different things. The Berlin Film Festival, for example, in January. We have Labour Day in May. And Father's Day, Vatertag. Now also known as Männertag. Men's Day is essentially an excuse for men to get liquored up with the blessing of the missus. It's always on Ascension Day. And then Muttertag. Afrika Festival in June. And then of course Oktoberfest, which curiously happens in September. Dust off your dirndl or squeeze into a strapping pair of lederhosen for Munich's legendary beer swilling Stein swinging party. There's no beer fest bigger than this one, that is true. I have to say the Christmas markets are fantastic. I took a school trip to Cologne to see the Christmas markets. Okay, let's skip ahead then. We have white asparagus. So, beautiful Berlin. Berlin is a bon vivant, passionately feasting on the smorgasbord of life, never taking things or itself too seriously. Its unique blend of glamour and grit is bound to mesmerize everyone keen to connect with its vibrant culture. Superb museums, fabulous food, intense parties and tangible history. When it comes to creativity, the sky's the limit in Berlin. Since the fall of the wall, the city's become a giant lab of cultural experimentation, thanks to an abundance of space, cheap rent, and a freewheeling spirit that nurtures and encourages new ideas. Must-sees or aimless explorations, this city delivers it all in one exciting and memorable package. I think I read somewhere that Berlin was the cheapest, maybe not like the cheapest, but one of the cheapest capital cities in Western Europe you can live in terms of like rent, which if, you know, London, Paris, I've heard Lisbon and Dublin, again, really, really expensive as well. But not so much, not as much in Berlin. At a glance, population 3.7 million. And the best viewpoint is the Panoramapunkt. And the best outdoor playground, Tempelhofer Feld. I mean, we could look at Berlin all day long, to be honest. And I think I've possibly done a video on Berlin in the past as well, so we won't. The Reichstag. Potsdamer Platz, I think I stayed there. And I did the boat trip down the river. That's the Altes Museum. It's a beautiful building, isn't it? The architect was Karl Friedrich Schinkel. He pulled out all the stops for the grand neoclassical Altes Museum, which was the first exhibition space to open on Museums Insel in 1830. A curtain of fluted columns gives way to a Pantheon-inspired rotunda. That's the focal point of a prized antiquities collection. In the downstairs gallery, sculptures, vases, tomb reliefs and jewellery shed light on various facets of life in ancient Greece, while upstairs the focus is on the Etruscans and Romans. Top drawers include the Praying Boy bronze sculpture, Roman silver vessels and portraits of Caesar and Cleopatra. Info on the Berlin Wall and the Brandenburg Gate. It's actually the tower in German, Brandenburger Tor. Okay, let's not get caught up, like I promised we wouldn't. I'm going to jump to Hamburg. Lübeck. It's Hamburg and the north. So info on Lübeck, a 12th century gem boasting more than 1,000 historic buildings. Lübeck's picturesque or picture book appearance is an enduring reminder of its role as one of the founding cities of the mighty Hanseatic League and its moniker Queen of the Hanse. Behind its landmark Holstentor, you'll find streets lined with medieval merchants' homes and spired churches forming Lübeck's crown, recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site in Today this thriving provincial city retains many enchanting corners to explore, including a fab museum that tells the Lübeck story. I wanted a picture of Hamburg. It's very, like I said, it's supposed to be a port, but it looks like it's inland, but it's really not. And there's lots of lovely canals, it's very beautiful. Yeah, that's it. It's lovely. It's on my to-do list. Okay, so then we go to central Germany, in Thuringia, a land of forested hills, fertile plains and fabled fortresses. Thuringia sits at Germany's geographic heart, with cities of genuine historical heft sitting alongside World Heritage sites like the unforgettable Wartburg Fortress. It's a famous destination for domestic travellers, and no wonder, forever associated with immortal names such as Luther, Bach, Goethe, Schiller, Cranach, Wagner and Gropius. It can seriously claim to be one of Germany's most fertile cultural cradles. Have you heard of Gotha? Gotha, with a pedigree stretching back to Charlemagne, and once famed as Thuringia's wealthiest and most beautiful city, Gotha has seen better days. The historical heart of this former capital of the Saxe-Coburg Gotha Duchy retains much to fascinate, but its outskirts struggle to cast off a grim GDR heritage, and consequently its treasures remain underappreciated. Halle. Saxony-Anhalt's largest city, Halle, has a handful of impressive museums spanning themes as diverse as art, archaeology and the Beatles. It's most famous for being the birthplace of Georg Friedrich Händel. Halle was once a hotbed for the GDR's chemical industry. When the GDR collapsed, the chemical factories gradually disappeared and the smoke began to clear. Change was slow, but some intelligent planning and major projects leading up to Halle's 1,200th birthday in 2006, combined with the presence of some 25,000 students attending the Martin Luther University, injected some life into this very old town. Once more, though, Halle has seen better days. Its beautiful bits are beautiful indeed, but if you look closely into its darker corners, you might make out the hairline cracks that are beginning to appear on the facade of unified Germany. It's quite dark. Okay, Saxony, which is over here. So the Czech Republic would be there, I guess. Population 590,000. Best movie location, Art Nouveau department store, Görlitz. Best monument, Völker Schlachtdenkmal. The best boat ride, Dresden to Saxon, Switzerland. Saxony, placed where northern plains abut mountain ranges and German efficiency meets Slavic flamboyance. Packed with hilltop castles and baroque palaces, Saxony is the definition of Central Europe. It was also at the centre of events during the most decisive points in European history, such as the Reformation, Napoleonic Wars, and Velvet Revolutions that dismantled communist regimes in the late 1980s. Dresden. There are few city silhouettes more striking than Dresden's. The classic view from the Elbe's northern bank takes in spires, towers and domes belonging to palaces, churches and stately buildings. And indeed it's hard to believe that the city was all but wiped off the map by the Allied bombings in 1945. Dresden's cultural heyday came during the 18th century, reigns of Augustus the Strong, August der Starke, and his son Augustus III, who sponsored many of Dresden's iconic buildings, including the Zwinger and the Frauenkirche. While the devastating 1945 Allied firestorm levelled most of these treasures, their contents were safely removed before the bombings and now take pride of place in Dresden's rebuilt museums. Across the river from this treasure trove of classic art and architecture, Dresden's Neustadt has dozens of funky restaurants, shops, and one of the liveliest nightlife scenes in Germany's east. And then Munich. The centre of Munich is absolutely beautiful. Let's grab a picture of it for you. I was expecting maybe a shot of the town hall or something, which is a stunning building. Population 1.5 million. Oktoberfest beer consumption approximately 7.3 million litres of beer. Best non-sausage snack, such as the sort of obsession with sausage, is a Schmalznudel. Munich, the natural habitat of well-heeled power dressers and lederhosen-clad thigh-slappers, Mediterranean-style street cafes and Mitteleuropa beer halls, highbrow art and high-tech industry. Germany's unofficial southern capital is a flourishing success story that revels in its own contradictions. So Bavaria in general then, which is this very large area of Germany at the bottom, or state I should say, population of 13 million, with the tallest mountain being the Zugspitze. Classic fairy tale castle is the Schloss Lindorf. I wonder if you can see that. Maybe it's in Bavarian Forest 462. Some beautiful pictures there. This is the Würzburg residence in Würzburg. That's number one. And the Schloss Lindorf in Oberammergau, which is there. And lastly, the Kaiserburg in Nuremberg. One of Bavaria's most historically significant fortresses, Nuremberg's Kaiserburg, lords it over the old town of the state's second city. A tour takes you back to medieval times when Nuremberg was one of the key cities in the Holy Roman Empire. The castle was used as a safe box for the empire's trinkets. We have a little excerpt on Richard Wagner. With the backing of King Ludwig II II, Richard Wagner, the gifted Leipzig-born composer and notoriously poor manager of money, turned Bayreuth into an epicenter of opera and high-minded excess. Bayreuth profited from its luck and, it seems, is ever grateful. For Wagner, listening to opera was meant to be work, and he tested his listeners whenever possible. Gotterdämmerung, Parsifal, Tannhäuser, and Tristan und Isolde are grandiose pieces that will jolt any audience geared for light entertainment. 4 days of the Ring of the Nibelung are good for limbering up. And then we have Regensburg, the capital of the Oberpfalz region of Bavaria. Regensburg dates back to Roman times and was the first capital of Bavaria. 2,000 years of history bequeathed the city some of the region's finest architectural heritage, a fact recognized by UNESCO in 2006. Though big on the historical wow factor, today's Regensburg is a laid-back, studenty and unpretentious sort of place, and its tangle of old streets is a joy to wander. There's a nice map of that golf museum, the Schlosstour und taxis. Then we have Stuttgart and the Black Forest down the southeast of the country. 12.6 million people live there. The best spa town is Baden-Baden, so good they named it twice. And the best treat is the Black Forest Gâteau. You can see here is the border with France. Strasbourg is just over the coast, over the border there, and Switzerland with Basel there. We can see Karlsruhe, Ludwigsburg, Mannheim, Heidelberg, and Freudenstadt, Offenburg, Freiburg, Stuttgart, Baden-Baden, Black Forest, Ulm. So this is on my to-do list, Stuttgart. The Rathaus, that's the, I think in America you'd say City Hall. In the UK we don't really have them anymore too much, but council building, I suppose. They're usually one of the most beautiful things to look at, apart from any churches. So it says, Stuttgart. Ask many Germans their opinion of Stuttgarters, and they'll have plenty of things to say. They are road hogs, speeding along the Autobahn. They are sharp-dressed executives with a Swabian drawl. They are tight-fisted homebodies who slave away to Schaffer, Häuslebauer. So much for the stereotypes. The real Stuttgart is less superficial than legend would have it. True, some good-living locals like their cars fast and their restaurants fancy, but most are just as happy getting their boots dirty in the surrounding vine-clad hills and hanging out with friends in the rustic confines of a fine Stube or a chestnut tree-shaded Biergarten. In this, the capital of Baden-Württemberg, city slickers and down-to-earth country kids walk hand in hand with no need to compromise. Map of Constance on Lake Constance. I see Lake Constance on the border with Switzerland. Here's Constance. Okay, where next? Let's go to Frankfurt and southern Rhineland. Population 758,000 in Frankfurt. Oldest university is the Heidelberg. Best Roman site is the Porta Nigra. So we can see it's towards the south of the two Rhinelands. So we got Luxembourg here and France there. Belgium is just creeping into view here. You can see a couple of cities you might have heard of: Kaiserslautern, Hamburg. Sorry, not the actual Hamburg. This is Hornburg. Saarbrücken. A friend of mine is from Saarbrücken. And we have Koblenz, Offenbach, Darmstadt, Heidelberg, Mainz, and Frankfurt, just across the river from each other. Frankfurt am Main. I've been to Mainz actually. We landed in the airport and then we just went to Mainz rather than Frankfurt. Glinting with glass, steel and concrete skyscrapers, Frankfurt on the Main, pronounced Main, is unlike any other German city, the focal point of a conurbation of 5.5 million inhabitants. Manhattan is a high-powered finance and business hub, home to one of the world's largest stock exchanges and the gleaming headquarters of the European Central Bank, and famously hosts some of the world's most important trade fairs, attracting thousands of business travellers. Yet, at its heart, Frankfurt is an unexpectedly traditional and charming city, with half-timbered buildings huddled in quaint medieval Altstadt. The old town, cosy apple wine taverns, serving hearty regional food, village-like neighbourhoods filled with outdoor cafes, boutiques and street art, and beautiful parks, gardens and riverside baths. The city's cache of museums is second in Germany only to Berlin's, and its nightlife and entertainment scenes are bolstered by a spirited student population. So in the Altstadt, the old city, you could see the Kaiserdom, which is a church. Frankfurt's red sandstone cathedral is dominated by a 95-metre high Gothic tower, which can be climbed via 328 steps. Construction began in the 13th century. From 1356 to 1792, the Holy Roman Emperors were elected, and after 1562 consecrated and crowned in the Wahlkapelle at the end of the right aisle. Look for the skull altar. The cathedral was rebuilt both after an 1867 fire and after the bombings of 1944, which left it a burnt-out shell. It's dedicated to the Apostle Saint Bartholomew, hence its official name, Kaiserdom Sankt Bartholomäus. So the Main River running through. And then you have Mainz. Wiesbaden. So Mainz, it says, strategically situated at the confluence of the Rhine and Main rivers, Mainz has been the capital of the German federal state of Rhineland-Palatinate since 1946. This lively city is a sizable university, pretty pedestrian precincts and a savoir-vivre dating from Napoleon's occupation. Strolling along the Rhine and sampling local wines in a half-timbered Altstadt tavern are as much a part of any Mainz visit as viewing the fabulous Dom, Chagall's ethereal windows in St. Stephankirche, or the first printed Bible in the bibliophile paradise of the Gutenberg Museum.
black space. A glass walkway leads you around this extraordinary Roman archaeological site, which was discovered in 1999 during the construction of the Römer Passage shopping mall. Brilliantly illuminated artifacts discovered during excavations include ceremonial bowls, Roman tablets, statues, coins, and dried fruits like figs from other climates. Signs are in German, but an English brochure is available. The easy-to-miss office-like entrance is on the mall's ground floor, just inside the western entrance. Okay. Then on to my most visited part, Cologne and Northern Rhineland. Population of Cologne is 1 million. Number of bicycles in Münster, 500,000. And the best Rhenish beer hall is Brauerei im Fürchen. Best Cold War site, Dokumentationsstätte, Regierungsbunker. Cologne's iconic Dom has twin towers that might as well be exclamation marks after the word welcome. Flowing behind the cathedral, the Rhine provides a vital link for some of the region's highlights. Düsseldorf, with its great nightlife and architecture, and Bonn, which hums to Beethoven. Away from the river, Aachen still echoes to the beat of the Holy Roman Empire and Charlemagne. Much of Germany's 20th century economic might stemmed from the industrial region known as the Ruhrgebiet. Now that the mines are closed and the steelworks are silent, cities such as Essen and Bochum are transforming them into progressive cultural playgrounds. Dortmund is literally scoring with its National Soccer Museum, while in the flat northern reaches, Xanten's archaeological excavations bring Roman history to life. I'm going to skip over Cologne because I think I've talked about it a million times. Bonn, which acted as a capital during the Cold War, I think. When this relaxed city on the Rhine became West Germany's temporary capital, in 1949, it surprised many, including its own residents. When in 1991 a reunited German government decided to move to Berlin, it shocked many, especially Bonn's own residents. More than a generation later, Bonn is doing just fine, thank you. Dankeschön. It has a healthy economy and lively urban vibe. For visitors, the birthplace of Ludwig van Beethoven has plenty of note, not least the great composer's birth house, a string of top-rated museums, a lovely riverside setting, and the nostalgic feel of the old government quarter. Bonn can be seen on an easy day trip from Cologne, or as a stop on the busy Rhine railway line. There is a concentration of sites in the Altstadt, while the big museums along Museumsmeile are just a quick tram ride away. So the Beethoven House in Bonn. Star composer Ludwig van Beethoven was born in 1770 in this rather humble townhouse, where today original scores, letters, paintings and instruments, including his last grand piano, offer insight into his work, routines and feelings. Of special note are the huge ear trumpets he used to combat his growing deafness. Tickets are also good for the new media exhibit in the adjacent building, where you can experience the composer's genius during a spacey interactive 3D multimedia tour. Here is a map of Düsseldorf town centre with the Rhine flowing through it. We have the Altstadt, the old town, Karlstadt there. And then on to Lower Saxony and Bremen. Population of Hanover is 539,000. Most mind-blowing hike, Wadensee tidal flats. And the best car pilgrimage is the Autostadt. Lower Saxony, or Niedersachsen, is the largest German state after Bavaria. West to east, it stretches from the World Heritage listed Wattenmeer tidal flats and the East Frisian in the Netherlands highlands to Wolfsburg, global HQ of Volkswagen. Its green and livable capital, Hanover, is best known for its annual CeBIT and Messe technology trade shows. Bremen. Bremen, the smallest of the German states, packs a punch for its size. Bremen city has a wealth of fine architectural and cobblestone streets, engaging museums, a vibrant waterfront, and a happening multicultural vibe. At the mouth of the Weser, its port city Bremerhaven upholds a rich seafaring tradition. Hanover. Locals love Hanover, spelt with a double N, Hanover, in German, for the low cost of living, good public transport, wealth of museums, theatre, live music, and other arts and cultural events. And the city's proximity to green spaces. The spectacularly Baroque Herrenhäuser Gärten, the constructed Lake Maschsee, and the Eilenriede, Europe's largest urban forest, are all close at hand. That said, most Germans groan at the first mention of Hanover, whose dialect is regarded as the closest tongue to High German. A friend of mine in work spoke it, and it sounded to me like Danish. Perhaps it's a complex socio-linguistic thing, or perhaps they're just jealous of the laid-back lifestyle. Hanover lacks the high profile of neighbouring Hanse city-states Hamburg and Bremen, and first appearances admittedly might knock you off your feet, but spend a little time here and you'll soon be charmed. The city swells in April and June, when its mammoth computer and technology trade fairs, CeBIT and Hanover Messe, each attract more than 200,000 visitors. You could visit the Neues Rathaus, the new council building. An excellent way to get your bearings in Hanover is to visit the Neues Rathaus, built 1901 to 1913, and ascend 98 metres in the curved elevator, the only one of its kind. It's shaped to travel to the top of the building's green dome, where there are 4 open-air observation platforms, offering panoramic views as far as the Deister Hills. The cabin can take only 5 people at a time, so expect queues. And there's a map of Bremen City, the Altstadt there. And then we get to the history section, and food and drink, literature, I think language is there as well. I skipped over it. No, maybe not. Architecture, landscapes and wildlife, survival guide. What plugs they use, type F. Healthcare. Tap water is drinkable, of course. Discord. go. German Autobahns. So, I hope you enjoyed this video of us taking a little look at the lovely, one of my favourite countries of Germany. If you did, then click the like button, leave a comment, and tell me where you'd like us to go next using these Lonely Planet books. I've got several, and I was looking at some in a shop today, so there are plenty more I can purchase for this channel if you ask me nice enough. Don't forget, of course, to click subscribe if you've not been here before and you're new to the channel, so you don't miss more content like this in the future. And if you love what I do and you want to help me purchase books like this, then consider joining me on Patreon, and you'll get 2 extra videos exclusively per month. If you're not tired enough, then watch this video next, and I will see you soon. I hope you are very well, and